Hello, dear friends. I'm Marina from marsstars.net, and this is the monthly horoscope for March for everyone who has their sun or ascendant sign in Aquarius. We have a few important events during this month. First of all, the beginning of the new astrological year. Basically, that's the ingression of the sun in Aries, which is the beginning also of a new 12-month period for all of us. So very important and very active dynamic energy is coming ahead. Also, Mercury will be retrograde. There are things we need to be careful with and things we need to be prepared for. And Venus and Mars are changing their sign positions. So basically in this video, we are going to cover those events and how they are going to influence your own sign. Okay, so let's begin with the transit sun, which at the very beginning of the month will be in Pisces in your second house. That's a very practical position. Second house is about material things, about resources and money and being more grounded. So you really need to be more engaged with practical stuff. Also, you can pay more attention on your finances and maybe find new solutions to how you can increase your income, how you can improve certain issues if you have. And generally, you need to be engaged with those practical things, to be grounded, to be in touch with reality. After that, after the 20th of March, the sun will enter Aries in your third house. So the energy becomes more dynamic. First of all, it's fire sign, much more dynamic. Also, third house is more dynamic than second house for you. So it means that there might be more changes. You can, more variety in your life in general. And also the area of communications might be extremely important. That's a great time to have some new ideas, or people who work in the area of media, anything which has to do with information and connections with others, they can really benefit during this transit. And also, this is a fantastic time for education and improving your skills. Keep in mind that those are the skills which are more practical, which you can implement right now. So you need to remember that you need to be present, you need to be engaged with the real situation. Also, you may need to pay attention on details and be, a little bit more practical generally during this month. Both second and third house are practical, maybe from a different perspective, but they're both related to being present and engaged with practical things. So March is the time when you need to work on that, which might be kind of a challenge for Aquarius, which are all about variety and new things. But yeah, another topic. Okay, so next we have Mercury. Mercury is also in Pisces in second house during the first few days of March. And this is very nice for you to actually organize your finances. Maybe you can have new ideas how you can improve finances. Or you may also find some decisions. Maybe you need to invest, maybe you need to spend on something. So generally, time for more practical ideas and things related again to material stuff. After that, from the 6th of March, Mercury enters Aries in third house. Very strong position for Mercury because that's the natural ruler of this house. And it's a great time for ideas, for traveling, for writing, people who speak in front of others or are writers or working in media and generally engaged with society and others, they can really benefit from this transit. And this is a great time for new communications, for new contacts, for new relationships. Those type of relationships, they're not personal, they're not emotional, but they're more about mutual interests. They could be important for business as well. And another thing you need to know is that Mercury will be retrograde starting from the 23rd of March, and the 3 weeks after that, Mercury is retrograde in Aries in your third house, which means that you have to be extra careful with all kinds of information, decisions, plans, also documents and trips. I would definitely recommend you to avoid trips during this time. Even planning those trips may not go so well, and maybe you will need to change your plans after. Another thing is, well, with documents, of course, misunderstandings, complications, lost information, untrue information as well. So extra attention on anything related to connections with others, including your devices. Nowadays, like your computers and smartphones and those things, they are also related to third house. So keep in mind that this might be a time when you will experience some challenges, and you should avoid buying new things, especially if they are more expensive during this time. Next, we have Venus. Also, Venus is in Pisces during the first few days of March and in your second house. That's harmonious position because Venus is the natural ruler of this house. And this side of Venus is actually very material and practical. So solving some financial issues, or also spending money on something is actually positive. And you may really enjoy spending those money because Venus is the planet of pleasure and joy and happiness. So something nice which you can buy for yourself, and you can do just because it will bring you positive emotions, even if it's not so practical, even if it's not, so you don't really need that. You can do it just because you want, and it will make you feel happy. And after that, Venus enters Aries from the 6th of March and your third house. It can harmonize more your communication with others. Great transit for negotiations, for enjoying more, to receive information or to learn new things. Also, people who are interested in beauty, in art, they may learn information related to that. So another positive side of Venus as well. And finally, we have Mars. Mars is in Sagittarius in your 11th house during the first half of the month, which can make you very active when it comes to social projects, the community into which you are part of, or maybe doing things together with your friends, or fighting for some causes, fighting for some things which you are idealizing, which are extremely important to you. And that's very dynamic, especially when it comes to the communication part. After the 17th, Mars enters Capricorn in your 12th house. So this is the time to slow down. Mars is an active initiative planet, but on the other hand, 12th house is a very secret place, very unmaterial house. So it's not the time when you can be so active when it comes to social projects and maybe even material things. You can be active on your own when you are at your private place, or maybe working something behind the scenes, preparing for something. But you need to, just relax a little bit. Mars in 12th house requires from you to slow down, not to rush too much, not to force yourself so much. So that's the most important during March. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy new astrological year to everyone.